Located on the eastern edge of Virginia's Middle Peninsula, Mathews County is long known as a grain-producing county. But in recent years, there's been a push to add aquaculture to the mix.
And oysters are a big part of this industry. Jordan Pod has lived in Mathews most of his life and decided to farm oysters after working several years as a commercial diver. He says county leaders have been helpful with permitting.
They just see it as a new kind of revenue stream, and it's helping the bay. Each oyster filters about 50 gallons of water a day. So when you have a farm of, 3 million oysters, you're really getting it.
Pod says Mathews County has become more of a tourist destination over his lifetime. Sometimes that creates friction between oyster farmers putting their cages on the water and the owners of waterfront property. Pod says he takes measures to reduce the visibility of his cages.
We try to keep it as tidy as possible, but it's hard when you get storms.
On land, Mathews is known for producing corn and soybeans. Robert RESPES grows both, but he stays away from smaller grains because his land is so close to the water.
One of the main reasons I don't grow wheat is because our ground is flat and we got a lot of black ground, and in the wintertime it can get saturated, and the water table is always up more in the wintertime, and wheat doesn't like to get its feet wet. So that's the reason I don't grow wheat anymore. However, the cover crops do pretty well down here if we can get them in and get them established. And the corn and the soybeans, just early plantings tend to do better than trying to get a double crop in behind small grain or wheat.
RESPES is deeply involved in his community, and his farm has been in the family for more than a century. He's been a member of the Virginia Soybean Association, served on the board of the Tidewater Soil and Water Conservation District, and been a volunteer firefighter. Ronnie Lewis is also a grain farmer in Mathews County. He and his brother farm 500 acres of corn, soybeans, and hay. His family has farmed here for at least 3 generations, and they formed a bond with the land.
We're stewards of the land. We want to make this land better than what we found it. I mean, as you can tell with the cover crop here, and the soil tilth and organic matter. We want to do what's right, and I know all the farmers in Mathews participate and want to do what's right.
Unlike those multi-generational grain farmers, Patrick Hannes is in the process of relocating from Maryland. He worked for years in USDA's mushroom grading division and is taking advantage of the county's special characteristics to grow his business.
You have fog that comes in here every day, and it's a particularly wet area. So that's ideal for growing mushrooms, especially on logs. One is the straw mushroom, which is a summer mushroom, likes 95 to 105 degrees with 95 to 100% humidity. Welcome to Mathews County.
Hannes is also mentoring Christian Brown, who has about 500 logs on his property for cultivating mushrooms. He is using foil to prevent the logs from drying out and keeping out other fungi spores and insect pests away from the mycelium. Mathews County has 43 farms covering 6,584 acres. The market value of all agricultural products is $3,776,000. Crops dominate agriculture in the county, accounting for $2,092,000. Grains bring in $1,191,000. There are very few familiar livestock such as cattle and sheep in Mathews County, but aquaculture is responsible for $1,586,000. Oysters are not just raised in the water. At Oyster Seed Holdings, a local hatchery, workers are filling these beakers with algae that will feed baby oysters located in these large vats. Frank Long is the county's agricultural extension agent and frequently takes students on tours here for the local school's Ag in the Classroom programs.
Just to learn about the oyster life cycle and to promote oysters to them so that when they become adults themselves, we can promote having oysters maybe off their dock with some ready reefs, or sort of allowing aquaculture and oysters themselves to get back into the bay to help clean it up.
Oyster Seed Holdings is on Gwynn's Island, a popular vacation spot in Mathews County. The hatchery is holding tours in the summer and tastings on the back deck. When locals talk about people from out of town buying summer homes, many of those homes are here on Gwynn's Island.
Mathews is a unique place. You got to want to come to Mathews. It's a place of seashore and country living. You know, I like to say we're the best kept secret in Virginia.
A secret that more people are discovering. Agriculture and aquaculture are moving forward as the county becomes a destination for retirees and summer vacationers alike. In Mathews County, I'm Burke MOELLER reporting.